Okay, gang. So here's the situation. Last night's Zoom call was really great. I had about 140 of you guys on the call. Unfortunately, I had some technical difficulties, and I actually retried to do it on here, or went through the whole thing briefly just to see if it was still working. And for some reason, I can't show my PowerPoint and record at the same time. So with that being said, I'm just gonna basically go over what I did last night. Nikki out is obviously not going to be on this call, but I will, when I get to that point, I will mention what she spoke about and whatnot. So here we go. You will get a PDF via email of the PowerPoint that I'm going to show. It's a little wonky, just I don't know why the formatting's a little weird, but you can see everything, so we'll just leave it as is. So feel free to follow along. Um, so starting with everything, the first slide, you're going to see the dates for the camp, and you're going to see the agenda. I'm going to basically go over 2024 announcements, the coaches for 2024, and also 2025 and 2026 announcements. And then I'll have some closing remarks, and then we did a Q&A, which if I can remember any of the questions from last night, I will mention it. So real quick, um, I introduced Nikki. My new boss this past January, starting this past January. She was on the call last night, and she was very happy to be there. She was very impressed with the turnout. Like I said, over 140 of you guys were here. My new boss is Nikki Romolo. She's VP of Mets Events, and she basically came on and just wanted to reiterate everything I've been saying, and like all these changes that I'm about to go over with you guys is very positive, and we're looking forward to it, to everything. And she was down there for April. She's also going to go up to Syracuse this next month in August, and then she'll be there for the main camp as well. So you'll see her, you'll meet her. She's really great. I really enjoyed working for her, and she's been a huge asset to the defense camp program as well. So she definitely has our support. So 2024 announcements. The amount of teams will be changing. We to make it just to get it out there. We will be building a new minor league facility here. They're going to be breaking ground any day now. And that facility is going to be planted where the turf field is. So the turf field will be gone forever, and a new building will be erected in that place, in the place of that area. So due to construction, we will be losing a field, so we're going to have 5 fields: the 4 main fields and the clover slash the group of fields there, whatever you want to call it, and then the stadium. So we'll be using the stadium and the 4-pack of fields every day. We will still be on the minor league side that we're always used to, which is on the other side of the complex. This will be nothing will change as far as that goes. All the construction's happening over at the stadium. So with that being said, with the teams changing, I am going to need volunteers to move to week 3. Week 3 will be happening. I'm very close to filling it up. After last night's call, I have a good handful of people that will be willing to move, but I still need some more. So if you're watching this and you weren't on the call last night and you want to move from week 1 or 2 to week 3, let me know as soon as you can. The only difference between week 1, week 2, and week 3 is that the size of it. I need at least 60 people. It is obviously a little bit smaller, or it's about half the size. But for what it's worth, and I told all the guys this last night, when I first brought in week 2 and started week 2 for the first time, the guys that were veteran guys who've been used to the large week absolutely loved the smaller week. So it's more intimate. There's less coaches, of course, obviously, but not needing as many, because we have well, if we do 66 teams instead of 12 or 10, there'll be less coaches. But I am going to position the coaches to where it's even throughout all 3 weeks. So not one week is not going to be theoretically better than the other week as far as coaching goes. And I will go over coaches a little bit later. So week 1 currently has 130 campers. Week 2 has 136. I need that to be down to around 120 for each week. So if I can get that many campers to switch over to week 3, the volunteers that we need for that would be greatly appreciated. And, one thing I really pressed on last night was that, a lot of you guys who are veterans, you remember your rookie year. You never forget your rookie year. I have over 30 plus guys in week 3 that are rookies, and I do not want them to not experience camp because we can't fill it up. I know we can do it. I have until the end of this month, end of August, to fill it up, which I'm doing every day. I'm reaching out to guys left and right and responding to inquiries to get those numbers up. And we're doing it surely but slowly. But, the good thing about week 3 is I get 60, we're good. And then I can keep filling it up as we get closer, and it can go all the way up to 120. So there's definitely always room for week 3. But I also don't want to handicap week 1, week 2. So we got to make sure we keep around those numbers. I've already started a list of people who want to roll over to the 3rd week, but I still need more. So for those who weren't at the meeting and would be interested in switching over, the 3rd week is November 17th to the 23rd. So just please reach out to me, email me, or call me if that is something you want to do. But yeah, so we're working on multiple things, new things for each week. But week 3, there may be a special speaker joining us. The details are not finalized yet, but that is maybe a week 3 perk that the other 2 weeks don't have. So moving on. So on the PDF, if you got that in front of you, you're going to see a slider. This is 2024 Mets Fans Camp coaches. I have sent out my initial invites. I've pretty much heard from everybody but a few. The ones that are listed on the PDF, and I'll read through them real quick, have either verbally or actually confirmed that they're available for at some point during the 3 weeks. Now, just note that not all of these guys are doing all the weeks. And I really don't want to have guys do all 3 weeks, just because it does take a lot. It's very taxing. It's a lot to ask for somebody. So there may be a couple or a few that will do all 3 weeks. Maybe you're more like Doc Gooden and Mookie, just so that everybody can get a chance to meet them and whatnot. But right now, I got Doug Flynn will be the commissioner for week 1 and week 2. Bobby Wine, Lenny Harris, Kevin Baez, Rodney McRae, Ron Sabota, Eric Hillman, Todd Pratt, Barry Lyons, Buzz Capra, Duffy Dyer, Steve Traxel, Mackie Sasser, Pete Schurik, Mookie Wilson, Nelson Figueroa, who will also be the commissioner for week 3, Heath Bell, Howard Johnson, Ed Lynch, Dylan G, Felix Millan, Glendon Rush, Bill Pulsifer, Dennis Cook, Rajay Davis, Josh Tolley, Jerry Blevins, Terry Collins, Mike Hampton, Ed Hurd, and Edgardo Alfonso. So again, just reiterating that they're not all going to be in all 3 weeks. I will be strategically positioning them. So you may see a lot of guys do week 1, week 2, and then you'll see other guys do week 2, week 3. All right, so time for the big announcement. 2025. So in 2025, due to the construction, as I said, it's a very massive project. I really can't go into much details, but I can say it is a big one. There will be no mini camp in April. So no Port St. Lucie mini camp. Construction will be in full swing at that time, so it will not be happening. With that being said, there will be no November 2025 camp either due to the construction. Currently working on a Brooklyn camp for April. Nothing's confirmed yet, but a Brooklyn mini camp to kind of fill in the spot for the PSL mini camp. That is something I'm working on. And Syracuse camp will not be affected by this and still scheduled for September or August. There will be, we are bringing back the 2-day reunion. So for this camp that we're doing this coming November, we will bring you guys back to New York. You will get 2 free tickets to a game at Citi Field and get introduced to the ceremony and all that stuff that we just did last week for the last year. And then we'll be doing a game in Brooklyn. We do have a couple dates on hand, but I'm not going to release that quite yet until I can confirm everything. Brooklyn is, and same thing with the minicamp for Brooklyn. Brooklyn's got a lot of things going on. They have a lot of soccer matches, literally from like February to December. So their schedule's jam-packed. So the minicamp might look a little different than what we usually do, Thursday to Sunday, but just note that I'm really trying to work that out, and same thing with the reunion. And then the big one that we're still working on, it's not confirmed yet. I will obviously make sure everybody is on the same page when these things come out. are confirmed, but we're working on a City Field mini camp. This will be in the June timeframe. I do want to, make it very clear this is probably going to be more of a VIP, a high-end camp. I mean, it's very expensive to run anything up there at City Field, so just keep that in mind, and so you don't get a sticker shock, I guess. But we'll definitely make it worthy of the price. Popular man. Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where you're never going to have an opportunity like this again to play out City Field for that many days and whatnot. So, and then like I said, it'll be a premium type of thing. So again, that's not confirmed yet. We're still working on it, but yeah, it's going to be something that we're going to put a lot of focus on if we can get the scheduling right for it. Moving on to 2026. So I know a lot of questions or a lot of people were worried about it was like, well, if we're not doing camp in 2025, I have to wait till November 2026. No. So the real big announcement is that the return of Mets Fans Camp in January will be in 2026. So I know we've heard you for years, a lot of you guys for years saying bring it back to January. Well, with this new facility, you guys will be opening up the brand new facility. And I can tell you, I've seen the schematics and renders for it, and it looks absolutely amazing. So it's something very exciting that I'm looking forward to. So that January, you guys will be the first ones in there, or if not, one of the first ones in there to use the facility. And then we'll do 2 weeks of regular camp in January, and then followed by our very first women's camp, which I'm very excited for as well. Then we'll do May, Syracuse minicamp in May. So we're going to flip flop the April, May, September, August camps. Just because if you're going to do the regular camp in January, it really doesn't make sense to do a PSL minicamp in a couple months in May. So we'll see how that goes. So Syracuse and PSL minicamps will flip flop. And then we're also going to try to be introducing our November Dominican Republic minicamp. So yeah. Good things. There's a few other knickknacks, a little other mini camps or whatever that we're working on. Obviously, Binghamton is not out of the question. It is definitely an option. But Brooklyn, we'll try to get that going next year. And then, yeah, that is pretty much it. In my closing remarks last night, I just said thanks to everybody for joining. Nikki said the same thing. Nikki and I are really looking forward to all of this. We're prepared to do what we can and do what we need to make sure you guys are taken care of when you're at camp and stuff like that. I know change is difficult sometimes, especially for coming up to camp. That one of the reasons why I wanted to do this now, the town hall, was to kind of nip the bud on the field usage, just because for the last couple of years it's been like, oh, by the way, guys, next week's camp we are not going to have a field. So I want to kind of preemptive strike this type of thing, so we can all manage expectations and get the volunteers over to week 3. So we're not going to have teams of 12, 13, 14 guys, because I won't be modifying the schedule anyway to accommodate 12 teams. We need to make it down to 10 teams. So I need volunteers. I can't stress that enough to move over to week 3. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Some questions that we got. I had a lot of questions regarding the mini camps. Nothing out of the ordinary. Some of the scheduling things that people are confused on, like specifically when was the next camp, which is going to be in 2026, not 2025. And in the grand scheme of things, too, guys, one way to think of this, you're only looking at a 2-month delay. Sort of like a flip-flop of when COVID hit, when we switched from January to November. Obviously, that was a little bit longer. It was more like, it was months, because we went from January to November of that year. This is you're only extending from November to January. So, it gives me a little bit more time to prep, which is nice, but it really shouldn't affect anything too much. I know a lot of people have been begging to get it back to January, and your wishes now come true, I guess. But again, if you have questions after viewing this, feel free to call me or email me. I definitely will be more than happy to answer anything you have any questions on. I'm just trying to think if there's anything real specific last night, and I don't think there was. But yeah. So thanks for. I figured I'd just redo the video and make it easy instead of emailing a long email that everybody loves reading my emails. I know so much that you guys do. So thanks again. And then again, email me, call me if you have any questions or want to move to week 3. More importantly, um, just get a hold of me ASAP so I can get you switched over. All right. Thank you guys, and we will see you soon.